Given a string S containing just the characters, and determine if the input string is valid. User. To 2, given a string S containing just the characters, and determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Every close bracket has a corresponding open bracket of the same type. Example 1. Input S equals output true. Let me explain the JavaScript code step by step. We define a function called isValid that takes a string S as input. Inside the function, we create an empty array called stack. This array will be used as a stack to keep track of the open brackets encountered so far. We create a map object that maps each open bracket to its corresponding closing bracket. This will help us easily check if a closed bracket matches the last open bracket in the stack. We use a for loop to iterate over each character in the input string S. For each character, we check if it is an open bracket, or, if it is, we push it onto the stack. If the character is not an open bracket, it must be a close bracket. We then check if the stack is empty. If it is, this means there is no corresponding open bracket for the current close bracket, so the input string is invalid, and we return false. If the stack is not empty, we pop the last element from the stack and store it in the variable lastChar. This represents the last open bracket encountered. We then check if the current close bracket matches the corresponding bracket for the lastChar using the map object. If it doesn't match, the input string is invalid, and we return false. After processing all characters in the input string, we check if the stack is empty. If it is not empty, this means there are some unmatched open brackets left, and the input string is invalid. In this case, we return false. If the stack is empty, this means all brackets have been matched correctly, and the input string is valid. We return true. That's how the isValid function works to determine if the input string is valid or not. I